We're back, Seven Rivers Racing, Al Losi and Dan Dyker. Our guests coming up here in the program as we recap last weekend's exciting action here in western Wisconsin. Continuing on with the Crosse Speedway, looking at the Thunderstocks last weekend. Andy Moore did it again. He's done it this year several times. He's won from the back, he's won from the middle, and he etched out a win here in the Thunderstock race to really put a clamp on his point lead. Jake Kruger, Jordan Myers, Jason Bolster, Brad Worth, and rounded out the top five, followed by Dan Fredette, Dustin Bagstad, Matt Karozovich, Raymond Hardy, Jack Lichheim. Jack Lichheim also won a dash, Worthen won a heat, Andy Moore won a heat, and what happened here in the point standings, which is really interesting, I mean, first off, Jake Kruger has been fast every time he brings that Thunderstock out, and you give a couple more laps right here, Al, and we may have had a side-by-side finish with those two.
You're exactly right. I really enjoy watching these Thunderstocks. I don't really get to watch them at the track. I love watching them on the Sunday Night Thunder here on KQEG, and it is just so fun. Sometimes we'll fast forward to those races because the points are flip-flopping, the racing is tight, and it's just a lot of fun to watch.
Looking at the points in the Thunderstocks, Andy Moore still has a point lead, but it's only down to 18, and now it's Brad Worthen who has jumped into second place, followed by Jason Bolster, Dustin Bagstad, and Raymond Hardy. Looking at the NASCAR late models, Jay Herbst now has a 30-point lead over Todd Korish, 41 over Sean Paff, followed by Brent Kirchner and Matt Henderson. In the sportsman, Danny Gilster slowly pulling away now with a couple of races left. He leads his brother Jimmy by 59, Randy Humfeld by 59. This will be a nice battle to see who gets out of second. Matt Englert and Greg Scheck rounding out the top five. Hornets, Tim Murphy Sr. leads Matt Moore by 6. In the Outlaws, John Olson, they'll be back this weekend, by the way, has a 20-point lead over Jerry Ellsworth. Next up for lacrosse, 30-lap late model feature this weekend, followed by the Sportsman Thunderstock Outlaws and the Thunderstock Double Spin to win. Up at Fountain City, the dirt track, Mississippi Thunder. Your winners this weekend in the 600 mods, it was Kurt Lumen out of Rushford. A mini mods was Alex Stevens out of Trepolo. B mini mods, Jim Chisholm out of Osage, Iowa. The street stock went to Danny Hansen, again, 3-time national track champion. And the super stock went to Jeff Brower. If you are a La Crosse County resident, you get in for free this Friday night. Show your ID, show that you're from La Crosse County, any town in the county. You're getting in for free up at the dirt track. That's Fountain City and Mississippi Thunder. Back to lacrosse. Our two guests in the studio today are Jordan Myers and Raymond Hardy, father-son, joining us out of the United Auto Supply Thunderstock class. Guys, good to have you finally in.
It's good to be here.
Been kind of hard. You guys worked some different schedules, and we finally got a chance to nail both you guys down. You guys have been a part of a very exciting Thunderstock class this year in which we've seen anywhere from 18 to 13 cars. I think 13 was the low end so far this year, but the 13 that show up obviously are a part of an outstanding class. And I know you guys have had a blast running that class so far this year.
Yeah.
It's been pretty good.
Now, Jordan, of course, is really having fun as he has a 5-point lead over Jack Lichheim for Rookie of the Year. When you started this season, did you think that this would be where you are with 4 races to go?
Not really. I didn't think I was going to do as good as I have been doing, and I didn't think the points were going to be as close as they are.
I think it's kind of neat that Jack Lichheim is the Window World Hornet champ from last year, so he has an advantage running that quarter-mile track already. But then you come out, and now you had no racing experience before this year, did you?
Nope.
So how did you learn to master this quarter-mile?
I don't know. Advice from your father?
Well, him and my cousins, Andy and Adam Moore, they kind of taught me some stuff to do, and then just following all the faster cars around the track, just seeing where they run, how far to go in.
Let's see, so you have last year's track champion, Thunderstocks, and a guy going for the championship this year. That's not a bad class to be around. Now, of course, Raymond, you're running, is Adam Moore's car from last year? Andy's car from last year. I know the setup, as you and I have talked in the pits this year, the setup hasn't been that much more difficult for you than what he had last year.
No. We basically went off the same thing as what he had last year. I mean, I guess I've been around it so long, so I could just pretty much go from one car to another.
Right, which you have this year.
Yeah, and just drive it, so.
It was 2 weeks ago you hopped into Mark Chalet's Orange Pumpkin and took it around the big track in the sportsman class and did a nice job at that as well.
It was okay.
Now, how long have you raced at La Crosse? How long has racing been in the blood in the family?
I know Andy and Adam's dad got us into it when we were just little kids. I mean, the first time that I've ever jumped in a race car, I was actually with him, and was over in Toma, and they had the old enduro cars in the corners.
Right.
And I was scared to do it, but no, he just told me to get in and drive it like it was mine. So.
And now, Jordan, did you get a chance to run out of Toma at all this year?
No.
Practice session. Were you going to run out there? Were you thinking about it?
Maybe not my car, but maybe taking Dad's car out there a couple times, and probably not to do anything, just to run it. Just have fun.
How much do you see Jordan come to you for advice during races? Whether it's how do I get past so and so? How do I corner turn 4? How do I work the dip in turn 1? I mean, you guys talk quite a bit in the pits.
Well, me and Andy and Adam talked to him at the beginning of the year about the dip in corner, and we just told him how to go through that. But other than that, he's pretty much took on himself and learned. I mean, he's really surprised me. So
how do you master that? I've heard it 50-50. Some drivers like it, some don't. I think it's outstanding. And for the folks that don't know, the Crosse has a dip when you are in between turns 1 and 2, and if the leader brake checks, everybody is brake checking and they're trying to avoid contact. How do you master that corner? Because I've seen some that can breeze right through it like it's not a problem, and then I see some that are like, oh man, here we go again.
it's really hard to do it. Either you hit it just perfect, for that way the car doesn't really upset. Otherwise, you go down lower than it or go up to the higher side of it. But I mean, if you hit it where the car upsets, you basically messed yourself up for a lap.
And you're going to feel contact, as we've seen several times this year. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we're going to talk more Thunderstock drivers at the Crosse Speedway. A young Jordan Myers is leading the Rookie of the Year points for the season, and his father, Raymond Hardy. We're going to talk about what it's like to battle dad and son. Matter of fact, it happened here a couple of weeks ago as both of them were going for the race win. I'm Dan Dyker along with Al Losi, Raymond Hardy, and Jordan Myers. You're watching Seven Rivers Racing on KQEG TV.